Hi everyone. So we have discussed about the capacitors, how to find out the value of capacitance, and after that types of capacitors, then series and parallel combination of capacitors. Okay. Then afterwards some simple circuits. So methods of solving or getting the equivalent capacitance for the entire circuit. Okay. Now we will discuss a topic called force acting between the two parallel plate capacitor, right. So when I keep force between parallel plate capacitor, then after that we will discuss energy stored in the capacitor, then we will do some problems in this session. Okay, right. Now I am considering two plates which kept parallelly, that is parallel plate capacitor. So plate 1 and plate 2, and we know that the first plate is given a charge plus q and second plate is given a charge minus q, but conventionally charge of the capacitor is nothing but plus q only. Now, and the outer surfaces charge stored is 0 and charge is distributed only this inner facing surfaces. So that is why this is plus and this is minus. Now what I am going to find out here is force between the two parallel plate capacitor. Can I say like this? It is positive charge and it is negative charge. Automatically there are unlike charges attract each other according to electrostatics. So there is a attraction force, means this positive plate will pull the negative plate, or I can say this negative plate will attract the positive plate. So that is how there is a force acting between the two parallel plates. Now I am going to find that. See, here the first plate is attracting the second plate, means this positive plate has some field intensity. This positive plate has some field towards right side. You know that what is the field due to plus q plate? Single plate. I told you that due to single plate sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and due to another plate sigma by 2 epsilon naught, both will be added, then total field in the between the capacitors is sigma by epsilon naught. So due to a single plate electric field is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Now so this is the field, this is the field. Now in this field this charge is kept. I can say like this, field of, in the field of the first plate second plate is kept. In the field of first plate, the field of first plate second plate is kept. This is second plate which has negative charge. Now you know that when some charges are kept in the field, they experience some force, and as it is a negative charge, we know the force formula. Force according to electrostatics, F bar is equal to E bar into the charge. If the charge is negative, the force will be opposite to the electric field. You know that positive charges can experience force in the direction of electric field, negative charges experience a force in the opposite direction of electric field. So as this is negative, so force is equal to E bar into the charge is minus q. That is why if electric field is this side, force will be this side. because you know that this positive plate attracts. Now that is how I want the magnitude. Force is equal to electric field into the charge, right? Now force is equal to, what is the electric field due to the first plate? This first plate, I already told you, sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Sigma by 2 epsilon naught. The charge is Q. What is the charge magnitude? Q. So this is the force. This is the force acting on the second plate. This is the force acting on the second plate. Now, so with this much force, positive plate is attracting the negative plate, or we can say with this much force, negative plate is attracting the positive plate. Okay, right. Sir, then how to use this force concept? How to use this force concept? See, I am just taking the two plates are very closer. Initially, I kept the two plates very close. So the distance is 0. And we know that it is plus and minus, there is an attraction. And one more thing, that this force is independent of distance. This force is independent of distance. As we know that electric field also independent of distance. See, here sigma q epsilon naught, here there is no distance term. So force is constant. So you can say force is constant. It means that a constant force is acting in between the plates. Now, so here also some force is there because they will attract. Now my question is, so when they are attracting, now we need to separate them. And kept at a distance of d. That is how a parallel plate capacitor will be formed. So now I need to apply some external force. I need to apply an external force so that I will keep the two plates. I will keep the two plates at some distance. This is the plate and this is the plate, and what is the distance? D. So that is how we are forming now a parallel plate capacitor. So to form a parallel plate capacitor, we did some work done because some external force is applied. See, on this plate already electric force is there, this attraction force is there, but we need to apply some external force so that it can kept at a distance of d. Now for doing this work, for doing this we did some work done. So what is the work done? Work done by external force. Generally, what is the work formula? W is equal to integration of the force into dx, F bar dx bar, right. Now here, what is the force we applied? External force, which is equal to external force, which is equal to electric force. So because we are moving very slowly, so that how much force we can apply, which is equal to electric force. And from where to where? Initial distance is 0, now final distance is d. So we applied the force so that plates have been moved to a distance of d. Now some work is done. So the W is equal to integration of 0 to d. What is the F? We already know force between the plates is sigma by 2 epsilon naught into the charge into dx. Here dot product a bar dot b bar is ab cos theta. Now what is the theta? Is the angle between the force applied and displacement. See, force applied is this side, displacement of the plate also this side. So cos theta 0. So cos 0 degrees is 1. So that is why I am not taking. So here these terms are constant, so that I am just taking out sigma by 2 epsilon naught q. I am taking out integration for only for dx. Integration is only for dx. What is integration of dx? Is x. So that is why you keeping first limit. So w is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught into charge. So it is integration is x. What are the limits? We starting from 0 to a d. So keep first limit d. Then you may get w is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught charge into d. Okay, right. Now, sir, we did some work done. We did some work. Means we lose some energy. Sir, where that energy will go? Because we did some work done. Means we lose some energy. That energy will be go into the capacitor. Because the capacitor is now have some distance. So to get some distance, we did some work done, and our work, because of our work we lose energy. That energy will be stored in the capacitor as internal energy, you can say simply. Internal energy stored in capacitor, which is equal to, you can say U, which is equal to the total work done by the external force. So U is equal to W. Now what is U? W already sigma upon 2 epsilon naught Q into D. Now can I write sigma? What is sigma? Surface charge density. Surface charge density. So sigma upon 2 epsilon naught into Q into D. So in the place of sigma, I am writing charge on A. So U is equal to Q upon A by 2 epsilon naught into Q into D. So you are getting Q into Q square into D by A into 2 epsilon naught. So we will just do something and we'll get the formula of energy stored. Energy stored. See once again, this is force between the parallel plate capacitor, and what is the force we got? This much. And now what we did, initially the plates are very nearer and we moved the plate some distance d, and means we did some work done. Now we did some work done means that work will be stored in the form of energy, that is energy stored in the capacitor. Right. Now that energy we are going to derive. So U is equal to Q into Q square into D by 2A epsilon. So here work done is equal to Q square by 2 epsilon naught A into D. So I will multiply both sides with A. So Q square by 2 epsilon naught A into D, I am multiplying with AA. So it will be A into A square, so that W is equal to Q square by 2 epsilon naught A square into A into D AD. So we know that Q upon A is Q by A whole square, Q by A whole square by 1 by 2 epsilon naught AD. So charge upon area is called as a surface charge density sigma. So W is equal to sigma square by 2 epsilon naught into AD. Now I will multiply both sides with epsilon naught. I will tell you why I am multiplying, okay. So W is equal to sigma square by 2 epsilon naught becomes epsilon naught square into A into D into epsilon naught. Array, you know that sigma upon epsilon naught is called as electric field in between the plates. Electric field in between the plates. You know that this field is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Due to single plate, sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So that due to 2 plates, sigma by epsilon naught. So here I can write in this place W is equal to electric field square by 2 into A D epsilon naught. Okay, now that this I can write as half epsilon naught, I will write first, then E square into AD. So this is what the work done. work done will be stored in the form of internal energy. Internal energy. Okay na. So internal energy work done will be stored in the form of internal energy of the capacitor is nothing but half epsilon naught E square into AD. Now what is A into D? A is area, D is the distance, so that it can be volume. So that this you can write as a volume. So that half epsilon naught E square into volume. Okay na. Now if I send this volume down, now you will get U upon volume. It is called as energy upon volume, called as energy density. Energy density. So which is nothing but I will write with small u. So which is U by volume. So U by volume, which is half epsilon naught E square. So this is the formula for energy density. Energy density means energy stored in the unit volume of the parallel plate capacitor is half epsilon naught E square. So from this equation I am just taking, see, U is equal to Q square upon 2A epsilon naught into D. So here A by A cancels, we no need to take. Now I am just modifying this way, this formula into required things. See how. I will take this D down, so that it will be Q square by 2 epsilon naught A upon D. Don't you know that epsilon naught A upon D is the formula for capacitance, parallel plate capacitor? So that is why Q square upon 2 into C. So this is what energy stored in a capacitor. Energy stored in a capacitor. So this is energy density and this is energy stored. There are various forms. So this is total energy and this is energy density per volume. Now energy stored U is equal to, what is the form you got? Q square upon 2C. Q square upon 2C. But you have one more thing. As you know, Q is equal to CV. Q is equal to CV. Can I keep this in the place of Q? Yes. So in the place of Q, CV I am keeping. So CV square by 2C. So it will be C square V square. C square V square. So that C square V square upon 2C. 1 CC cancels. Now what you will get here? Half C V square you will get. That is also one form. Right. Now I would like to get one more form. Here in this C or Q is equal to CV. Can I write C is equal to Q upon V? Now in this one, Q square upon 2 into, in the place of C I am writing Q by V, Q upon V. Now 1Q cancels, this V will go up, it means QV by 2. So there are number of ways, there are number of formulas for energy stored. U is equal to, what is the first formula? Q square by 2C. Second one, half CV square. Third one, Q into V by 2. So you can use any one of this equation to find out the amount of energy stored in the capacitor. Okay, right. Now we will see one problem based on this, and we will see how the realistic situation of this capacitor when comes into action. So here I will take a capacitor, parallel plate capacitor, and I will connect this one to a cell or a battery via a switch. This is a battery of voltage V, means plus V, this is 0. And now this capacitance of the plates, parallel plate is C. Okay, right. So initially when switch is open, we know that there is nothing, no charge is present, But when immediately I close the switch, immediately after closing the switch, This forms a complete circuit. So after closing the circuit, after S closed, switch closed, then what happens? When switch closed, the battery has some potential difference V and here no potential. So what everyone seeks to be? Battery will say that I have a potential difference and you have no potential difference, so that we both share the potential, so that automatically everyone will be at the same potential. So I will make you to gain the potential. So in this way some potential will be stored, which is nothing but the potential of the battery will be equal to potential of the capacitor. Because of this thing, the charge will flow from the battery. Some charge, when switch is closed, some charge Q will start. Some charge Q will start and it will deposit on the plate of the first plate of the capacitor, as this is plus, and due to induction plus, and this will be negative. So after certain instant, when electrostatic condition arrived, electrostatic condition means both of them are having same potentials. So at electrostatic condition, now there is some charge stored, in the capacitor. Now I can say that what is the, because of the charge stored, it can store some energy. Now what is energy stored in a capacitor? Energy stored in capacitor, we know the formula, energy is equal to half C into V square, or you can say Q square upon 2C something, right? Now, so this much energy is stored in the capacitor. Array, here who gave the charge to the capacitor? Battery. Means some battery did some work done. So what is the work done by the battery? So you know that work formula, potential difference into the charge given from electrostatics. Work done is equal to VQ. So what is the potential difference of the battery? Is V. And what is the charge? Q. Okay na? So you know that Q is nothing but from the capacitor, Q is equal to CV. I will write in the place of Q CV, so that V into CV, it becomes, what is the work done by the battery? Work done by the battery is equal to CV square. So what is the total work done by the battery? CV square. And what is the energy stored? Half CV square. For example, battery did some work done of 100 joules. In that 100 joules, how much energy is stored? Half of CV square means 50 joules is stored in the capacitor. Now what about the remaining 50 volts? Remaining 50 joules of energy. So simply you can say that if some energy or some work is done by the battery, out of that half only is stored in the form of energy in the capacitor. Now what about remaining? That remaining is nothing but waste in the form of heat loss to the surroundings. So here work done by the battery is CV square and energy stored in a capacitor is half CV square. So that is how I can say that work done by the battery is equal to, so out of the total work done, some of the energy is stored in the capacitor, some energy is stored in a capacitor. Now the remaining energy will be lost as heat to the surroundings. So that is why, what is the total work done in the battery? CV square. And what is the energy stored in the capacitor here? Half CV square, you know, plus the heat lost. This is delta H. Delta H is heat lost to the surroundings. Now what is the delta H here? So CV square, this is half CV square. Now you can say that CV square minus half CV square is equal to delta H equal to half CV square. So that is how out of the total work done of the battery, some energy will be stored in the capacitor, baki remaining will be go into the form of heat. Okay, so we'll do one problem so that you can understand how much heat energy is lost. You just by heart the formulas here. Okay. I am just giving, there are two capacitors kept parallelly. Okay na? So this is 2 microfarad and this is 4 microfarad, and now it has been connected to one more capacitor of 3 microfarad through a switch. Okay na? This switch is S2, and this 2 capacitor are connected to battery of 12 volts through another switch S1. So this is the circuit. Okay, right. Now what is my question is, if S1 is closed and S2 is open, if S1 is closed and S2 is open, then find what are the energies stored in all the capacitors. Okay na? Now so see here, when S1 is closed, this we can just close it, but S2 is open, so this is not closed, means if charge comes here, it will go to 3 micro, it will not come like this. If switch is closed, automatically charge will come like this, but if switch is open, so that charge will go simply to this one. So that circuit becomes, so this is what the circuit. Now see, this is 12 volts and this is 2 micro and 4 micro and this is 3 micro. Now what is the total capacitance? What is the equivalent capacitance? See, these two are in parallel and to that these 3 will be series. Now see, equivalent of the circuit we can find as, this is parallel means what? Parallel, what is the combination? In parallel, simply add the capacitors, means simply 2 and 4 means 6, and here that 6 and 3 will be in series, means what is the formula? Product by sum, I told you. So 6 into 3 by 6 plus 3, so 6 into 3 is 18 by 9, it will be 2 microfarad. What is the equivalent? We can replace this 3 with a single called as 2 micro. Sir, why we are finding this one? Because to find out how much charge will start from the battery. So now what is the charge start from the battery? So charge starts from the battery, Q is equal to C equivalent into V, Q equal to CV. Now C equivalent is 2 microfarad and battery voltage is 12 volts. Now the charge from the battery is nothing but 2 into 12, 24 microcoulombs. Means 24 microcoulombs will start here. 24 microcoulombs will start here. Now this charge will split into 2. This is 24 microcoulombs. Now this charge will be split into parallel connections. You know that charge will be divided into 2 parts. Now this one I can say this is Q1 and this is Q2. Okay, and in a parallel connection, in parallel, I told you how the charges are distributed. In parallel, volt potential is same, so that Q is equal to CV. Q is equal to CV, potential is same, so charge directly proportional to capacitance. Whose capacitance is more, we can say that through that charge will be passes more. So that is how we have a formula given, Q1 is equal to C1 upon C1 plus C2 into the total charge. Now what is Q1 is nothing but charge passes through first one. So it is 2 upon C1 plus C2 means 2 plus 4 into the total charge coming is 24 microcoulombs. So it will be, you are getting 2 by 6 means 1 by 3 which is 8 microcoulombs. It means out of 24, 8 microcoulombs is passing through the first. And what about the remaining? So you know that Q2 will be Q minus Q1. So total 24 is coming, it will be splitting into 2. It is Q1, so that remaining will be this one. So Q minus, Q is 24 microcoulombs minus 8 microcoulombs. You can say that it is 16 microcoulombs. So we got the charges, and this charge again will passes through this 3, so that this charge is also Q, because 24 will split, and again now you got the all the charges through every capacitor. Now what is the energy stored in the 2 microfarad, energy stored in the first capacitor C1? What is the formula? Q square upon 2C. We have number of formulas, right? So energy formula is Q square by 2C. Now Q, so what is Q? Q1 you can say, so it is 8, so 8 square upon 2 into capacitance is 2. So you can say that this is 64 by 4, which is 16 microjoules. 16 microjoules. So this much is the stored energy. What is the energy stored through the second one? This one. So again formula is Q square upon 2C, but it is Q2 square upon 2C. So Q is already, you know that this is 8 micro, this is 16 micro from here. So 16 square upon 2 into, what is the capacitance? This is 4. So 16 square upon 4, 16 by 4, 4 is a 64, right? So 1 4 cancels, this 16 cancels, 16 into 4 by 2, so it will be nearly 32. So 32 microjoules. And finally, what is the energy stored in the C3? So that is how you know that 24 will be splitting, again 24 will join. So 24 square upon 2 into the capacitance is 3. Okay, this you can write 24 into 24 by 3. So 1 8 cancels. So it will be 4 into 24. 4 into 24, it will be nearly 96 joules. So these are the energies stored. These are the energies stored. Now tell me, what is the work done by the battery? What is the work done by the battery? Work done by battery. Now you know the formula, work done is equal to just potential difference into the charge VQ. Now work done by the battery is equal to, what is the potential difference of the battery? 12 volts into, what is the charge starting from the battery, in this case 24 micro. So that 12 24s are, so 12 into 12 4 is 48, 12 2 is 24, 288 microjoules. This much work is done by the battery. This much work is done by the battery. Now how much total energy stored in the capacitors? So total energy stored, U is equal to U through the first one plus U through the second one plus U through the third one. Then total U is equal to, this is 16 plus 32 plus and 96. So 32, 16 plus 32, 48, 48 plus 96. 48 plus 6 how much? 54. This will be 144 microjoules. This much energy is stored in the all capacitors. Now what about the remaining? That will be called as a heat lost. Heat lost. So heat lost will be nothing but the total work done by the battery minus total internal energy stored. So that is where delta H is equal to total work done by the battery is 288 microjoules minus 144. You can say that exactly 144 microjoules. So we can simply say that here half of the work done will be wasted in the form of heat energy. So total work done, how much battery did? 288 microjoules. In that, how much energy is stored? 145 microjoules is stored in the all capacitors. The baki remaining one will be wasted in the form of heat energy. So this is how to do with when switch 1 is closed and switch 2 is open. Understood? Now if you say that, sir, switch 1 is closed and switch 2 also closed, this closed. When it is closed, you can say some simply wire will form. means this wire is a conductor, so that this potential same. I told you conductor will, for a conductor endpoints will be same potentials. So V and V means this capacitor will not function because potential difference is not there. When potential difference is there, then only charge passes, but there is no potential difference, so that will not function. So you can remove this. Then the circuit contains only two capacitors. You know that they are connected in parallel. Okay now you can do the same again by taking the, here parallel means voltages are same. Here 12 volts means here also 12 volts, here also 12 volts. Now find the energies, or you can say in parallel C equivalent. In parallel, what is C equivalent? Sum of the this one 2 plus 4, which is 6 microfarad. 6 microfarad. And now what is the charge drawn from the battery? Q is equal to C equivalent to V. So C equivalent is 6 and wow, battery is 12. So 6 12 is a 72 micro coulombs will start. Now this 72 micro will start, and this splits into Q1 and Q2, right? As parallel voltage is same, the charge will be distributed in the form of their ratio of their capacitances. 2:4 means 1:2 means totally 3 parts you can do. So 72 can be taken into 3 parts, or otherwise use the formula Q1 is equal to C1 by C1 plus C2 into Q. So this is the charge passing through first one 2 by 4 plus 2 into the charge is 72. So you can say that this is 6, this is 12 and 24 microcoulombs. So 24 will be passes through first one, and from the Q2, total is 72. From that 22 you can subtract, so that 48 microcoulombs. You got the charges, and do the procedure of finding the internal energies and work done everything, so that you can have an idea. Okay, right. Now, so here what we discussed here in this class, the force between the plates we discussed, and how much energy is stored. That is very important. Energy formulas, 3 formulas are there: Q square upon 2C, or half CV square, or QV upon 2. And we did one problem based on the energy stored. Okay now we will discuss one more. Where what happens when a dielectric is inserted. So effect of dielectric. See, I am taking a parallel plate capacitor with a battery is connected. Okay now the battery voltage is, let me take the battery voltage as V. See here, battery is connected and the capacitance is C, and you can say that some charge will passes, some charge Q will starts. Now what my question is, initially there is no insulating material in between the plates. Now I am just dropping some dielectric. Now battery is connected, now dielectric is inserted. Then what happens? Dielectric is kept. See, when dielectric is kept, you know already from the previous discussions what happens to capacitance. Dielectric will decrease the electric field, so that capacitance will be increased. You know the formula for capacitance, C dash is equal to, so K times epsilon naught A by D, because in the medium is there, so epsilon naught, in the place of epsilon naught we write K into epsilon naught. So what happens to capacity? Capacitance always increases when dielectric is placed. Okay, right. Now C dash will be K times C, and here battery is connected, so that what constant? We are still providing the same potential. So potential potential V is constant. You can keep the dielectric or no, but still we are connected, so that battery will supply same potential difference. So V is same. Now when we know and charge is the capacitance K times, what is the charge stored now? Initially it is Q before inserting the dielectric. Now if you insert it will increases the capacitance, means capacitance बढ़ गया बोले तो it has a more tendency to accumulate the charge, so that now more charge it can accumulate, means more charge will come from the battery. So charge Q is equal to, we know the formula, Q dash is equal to C dash into V, Q equal to CV. So it is C dash is equal to K into C times into V. So you can say that the charge also increases. So CV is equal to Q. So what is the charge now? Q dash is equal to K times Q. So here the thing is, potential is same, but capacitance increased. Capacity means the storing capacity, charge storing capacity increases, means now more charge will passes, so that charge will be KQ. Now what is the energy stored? What is the energy formula? Simply half CV square or something you can use, but I am using voltage is constant, so that half CV square, so half C dash V square. So it is after inserting dielectric U dash. So U dash is equal to half into, what is U dash? K times ho gaya into V square. So this is what internal energy also increased. So these are the parameters going to change when before connection and after insertion of a dielectric. When voltage still there, battery still connected. Now, so capacitance increases, voltage constant means electric field also constant. We know the formula, V is equal to ED. So electric field also constant, but capacitance increased by K times and charge increased by K times and energy stored inside also by K times. Now sir, if I say that if battery is removed, then what happens? So here battery disconnected and dielectric is inserted. Then what happens? See, in the plates, now the battery disconnected, there is switch open. Now we are inserting the dielectric. And when battery is disconnected, the charge will be constant, because you know that when battery is there, it can store some charge. But when removed, what is the purpose of battery? We know mobiles have these batteries, so it will give the charge. So when you remove, it will not give further. So the charge will not be taken from the battery. So when battery disconnected, further charge cannot be drawn from it. Means if the battery is there, it can draw some charge, but battery is not there, means charge is constant. So charge is constant, so here when battery is connected, still V constant, when battery removed, Q constant. Now we keep dielectric inserted. When dielectric inserted, we know in every case dielectric is inserted means capacitance will be increases. So capacitance will be K into epsilon naught A by D, which is K times C. So capacitance increases. Okay. Now capacitance increases. Now what about voltage drop there? You know formula, Q is equal to CV, V is equal to Q upon C. So voltage dash is equal to Q upon C dash. So as you know that Q same, C dash becomes K times. Now what happens to voltage or potential drop? Decreases by K times. Okay na? When potential drop decreases by K times, electric field also decreases by K times. Okay na? So here only charge constant, capacitance increases, so that voltage must be dropped. Now what is internal energy stored? Here charge is constant, I am using the formula q square upon 2c. So q square upon 2 into what happens to c dash? So u dash I can say. So k times c, so that 1 by k times internal energy. Now energy dropped, internal energy stored is decreased by k times. So this is how effect of the dielectric. When battery is still connected and we are inserting dielectric, when battery removed and inserting dielectric, what happens? Please keep in mind, when dielectric is inserted, in all the cases capacitance will increase. Capacitance will increase. If battery connected, voltage is same. So capacity increases means charge must drop. In battery removed, charge constant, capacitance anyhow increases, so that voltage must be dropped. So keep this funda in your mind, and so that you can do the problems. Okay. So now we can do the problems.